It could literally do anything that it wants.
You coded yourselves into oblivion. Your bodies were fake.
You know, this is just an over-exaggeration here. Over-exaggeration of what's really, what could happen. A dystopian future. And all of this can happen if we just take away the regulations. You take away the regulations, and it is a recipe for destruction. Okay. These things can happen. Tribe, just wanted to drop this intel really quick. This 4th of July, Independence Day, AI.gov will be implemented. Alright, just when you think Trump deregulating AI, hiding that in the big beautiful bill so that people don't notice. He keeps pushing this whole thing past the big beautiful bill. Notice now they changed it to the one big beautiful bill because big beautiful bill basically sounded too much. It's like the abbreviation BBB. By the way, BB, the person that Trump basically worships and takes instructions from, sounded too much like Build Back Better, and that was Biden, right? So now they had to add the one big beautiful bill. So just when you think that Trump deregulating AI was bad, Trump now wants our government to begin using AI and incorporate it into the government. Okay? And he wants this to begin on, ironically, on Independence Day. Independence Day. So what is this try? This is something that basically once you implement the AI into the government, we're going to become dependent on the AI. So it's the opposite of independence. If you consider how fast AI is advancing, what are the repercussions of this? If you consider how Trump calls himself a dictator and how he wants his people to be as controlled as Kim Jong-un's people in North Korea, what are the repercussions of this? Okay. What's next? Incorporating AI into the military? Oh, wait a minute. Palantir's already doing that. I made this meme. Check out this meme. I made it. Palantir is actually a crystal. Actually, they take this name, Palantir, from Lord of the Rings. And it was a crystal ball that this dude used. Remember this motherfucker? He used it so he could see what was going on throughout the world, throughout their pretend. It's fantasy. It's fantasy, right? But basically, in our world, basically using a tool to surveil the world, to find out what's going on anywhere in the world at any time, right? And that's actually, I actually have the definition of it somewhere in here. Actually, if you go to Wikipedia, you can find the actual, where they derived this name Palantir from. It's from Lord of the Rings, and the Palantirs were used for communication and to see events in other parts of the world. Okay, so that's where the name Palantir comes from. Well, that's the same company that Trump instructed to collect data, to create a database of every American in the country. Okay, AI military that has been used to take out enemies, target and take out enemies, Palestinians, people who the IDF deem, just people they don't like, right? Is it biased? Of course it is. Okay, that's biased, and that's a huge problem with AI. If you feed it the wrong information that is biased, and then it acts upon that, it's instructed that way, you're creating a monster, right? But, the same people assigned to create the database for every American, those are other people that Trump is working with, right? And he did that, I think, May 30th. And, look, listen, guys, after 4th of July, implementing AI into the government, there's no going back, okay? That's something that, we started up, and that's something that we cannot really stop, Okay, there's no going back after that. Yeah, cryptocurrencies, it comes next, and eventually, this AI surveillance of the whole country, and eventually the AI surveillance of the entire world. Okay, we look at countries like China, right? China uses it to facial recognition and gives, like a score for every person depending on their behavior. They get a score, like a social credit score, and that is like a dictatorship. That's communist. So a lot of countries are incorporating AI into their either the way they do stuff, but it's looking like Trump is headed towards the way how China does it. Okay, a dictatorship and communism. Okay, it's not something that can be undone once we do it. All right, this is going to be the beginning of AI taking over, and eventually it's going to be the beginning of AI birthing AI, creating basically this something that can't be stopped, and that eventually it turns to artificial general intelligence. What is artificial general intelligence? That's when the AI. Right now, we're using basically generative AI. Everybody's having fun. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with people using AI to summarize articles, books, use it for their job, use it to write an essay for school. That's not the issue. The issue is once AI starts becoming, because right now, it's not smart enough yet. It's very smart. It's actually smarter than a lot of humans. So you could argue that AI has already surpassed the intelligence of many humans, right? But eventually, what happens is it's gonna evolve. AI is gonna evolve into artificial general intelligence, which basically that is a big deal. Okay, that's going to be when AI basically becomes just as smart as humans. Okay, if you implement AGI into, let's say, just a robot, okay, like an AI robot, that robot is going to be as smart as a human being. Do you see where this is heading? And a lot of this technology is going to be helpful. But the problem is you gotta look at the people behind the scenes, the people deregulating AI like Trump, okay? And I think the reason he wants to do it is so he can be a dictator, okay? It's so that the AI technology works in his favor. Now he's only got like 4 more years, so he's just sabotaging everything before he leaves. That's how much of a freaking asshole this guy is. Like, he's so fucking ignorant. All he cares about is himself. He's sabotaging the technology before he leaves. Okay? But he's implementing it as well. What does that mean? We can't get rid of it later on. Right? Later on, the Democrats come in, and they're going to use it. And, it's never going to go away. They're going to try to find ways to fix it, perhaps. But Trump is implementing it because also he wants to basically, it's like a rat race, right? Whose AI advances the fastest? The U.S.? Is it China? Is it Saudi Arabia? It's basically like a race for AI, but at the same time, deregulating it, cutting safety over who gets there first. That is the biggest issue, guys. And this is why I said I didn't trust Trump. I never did. And when he said he wanted to be a dictator, he wasn't lying, guys. Okay, this is the beginning of AI taking over. Many people working for the government will lose their jobs, right? AI might determine that they aren't, needed anymore. Okay, part of the cuts, part of the Doge cuts. This time it's just, this time it'll be determined by AI, whether the AI decides if these people should stay working for the government or maybe they should not. Now, of course, at first it's just going to be used like AI tools, right? AI tools that are part of the government to help, it's just going to seem like it's going to help the government. But eventually it'll get a bunch of people fired from the government. Okay? Eventually, the people's, their jobs will be just completely replaced by AI. Okay? So, this is screwed up. You guys know that Trump also, he wants to deregulate the AI for 10 years. Can we really trust Trump to do the right thing when he wants to stop AI regulation for 10 years? When it's hidden in the big beautiful bill, okay? He hid it in there. That's why he wants that bill passed, okay? He hid the whole where is it? I actually have it somewhere around here. He hid the whole thing right here. It's hidden in there. It's hidden in here. Let's look. Right here. In general, except as provided in paragraph, no state or political subdivision therefore may enforce during the 10-year period beginning on the date of the enactment of this act any law or regulation of that state or political subdivision thereof limiting, restricting, or otherwise regulating artificial intelligence models, artificial intelligence systems, or automated decision systems entered into the interstate commerce. Okay, it's right here. So if this bill gets passed, we're going to have unregulated AI for 10 years that Trump will use to his advantage like a commie fucking dictator. Okay, everybody's worried about Peter Thiel. Yeah, he's a Zionist. The other guy, like, Peter Thiel isn't even as bad as the other guy, the guy with the crazy hair. I forgot his name. But, these people are investors. They want their company to succeed, just like PayPal succeeded. But, they are Zionists, but overall, who is the biggest monster? Who is the guy who wants to be the dictator? Who's the guy who is our president right now? It isn't Peter Thiel. It's Trump. Okay, so if Trump does shit that's fucked up, and Peter Thiel just wants his idea, he wants this, his investments to succeed, he's just gonna let it happen. Right. Okay. So this is a huge problem. Now also, you gotta think about it this way. This isn't the only problem, guys. This isn't the only problem. The other problem is Trump actually the last let me try to open up here. The last why was this, this browser, right? I think it's better, but it's not. Like, stop fucking being stupid. Okay. Listen, guys. On the last administration, the Biden administration, they had this whole AI law, this executive order put in place to prevent AI from doing anything wrong. Basically, what happened is Trump got rid of it. Trump scrapped this whole idea placed by the Biden administration, okay? So, Trump revoked an executive order from the previous administration, the Biden administration, regarding AI, which demanded that the developers of AI, okay, any AI models being created, their developers were to share their internal safety results with the U.S. government, so that any flaws in the AI systems would have been detected, errors that could put national security at risk. All of this is suggesting that Trump is behaving like a dictator, like I just said. If he's reversing all of this shit, this was put in place for a reason, okay? Section 1, purpose. Artificial intelligence holds extraordinary potential for both promise and peril. Great, so AI can be good. And you know what? If it can be good, it can help people, right? But somehow, somebody is sabotaging the whole fucking thing. And who is sabotaging it? It's Trump. Responsible AI use has the potential to help solve urgent challenges while making our world more prosperous, productive, innovative, and secure. At the same time, irresponsible use, Trump could exacerbate societal harms such as fraud. Who does fraud? Who's the most notorious person doing fraud? Trump. Discrimination. Who is the most discriminatory human on the planet? Trump. Bias. Who is the most biased person on the planet? Trump. And disinformation. Who is given the most information? Q. Okay. The pedophile, the pedophile who wanted a pedophile to win for president. Now we got one. Disinformation. Who is notorious for that? Trump. Displace and disempower workers. Yeah, that's Trump. Trump is going to displace and disempower workers. Stifle competition and pose risks to national security. Who's going to pose risks to national security? Who wants this whole country to be basically a hell, a communist hell, because Trump the dictator, Trump the king, is going to, whatever he wants. It's not about the people. It's about Trump, and this is a huge problem. So this is what I'm saying. This was put in place. You guys can look at it here. I might post the link so you guys can access it, but it's gone. Trump scrapped this whole thing. Okay, Trump is leaking. Okay, so this is where I actually found out about this. I think early, like 2 weeks ago, and I was just waiting for people to start talking about it. Like, I thought people would be worried about this, talk about it. Nobody has mentioned it. None of the people I watch mention it. So I was like, I gotta make a video of it because nobody else seems to care. AI.gov, this is the website. Now, it was taken down. And also, when you went to, here, let me read the article so you guys get the whole. I'm gonna post this link too. The federal government is working on a website and API called AI.gov to accelerate government innovation with AI. That is supposed to launch on July 4th and will include an analytics feature that show how much of a specific government team is using AI, according to an early version of the website code posted by General Services Administration on GitHub. Okay, so this page was posted up. It was taken down, and let me continue reading. The page is being created by the GSA Technology Transformation Services, which is being run by the former Tesla engineer. So this guy, a former Tesla person, is involved in this AI.gov initiative here. He hopes, this guy, a former Tesla engineer, hopes to AFI much of the government. So like I told you guys, people are going to be losing their jobs. The AI is going to replace the government, and this is the beginning. July 4th, Independence Day. Bullcrap. Trump is doing this on a day specifically to fuck with the people, to fuck with us, to make us realize, you know what, fuck your independence, I'm a dictator, okay, we're implementing the AI, it's going to be part of the government, you will have AI surveillance throughout, this is going to be worse than communist China, is basically what Trump is trying to tell us, guys. Now, if you went to the government website before, it would take you straight to AI.gov. I think, let me keep reading. Something like that. Right here, whitehouse.gov. If you went to whitehouse.gov, it would take you... Oh, if you went to AI.gov, it would take you to whitehouse.gov. But now it's just completely gone. They scrapped it. They got rid of it. If you try to go on the archives here, you'll find it. Here is the page. Here, I think this is like the source code. It's been taken down, so obviously it's not going to be exactly how it was. But it was there. It was there. If you guys want this link, I might post it. But this is fucked up, guys. Literally, and a lot of things are aligning, it's like Independence Day, more like Judgment Day, right, from like the Terminator. Like I'm telling you guys, we're just using generative AI. We're using AI to, answer questions. You give it an input, and inside there's this black box, right? The black box decides, it thinks based on data it's been given. Okay, a lot of people say that they don't know what's going on within the black box, but I kind of do, because like technically whatever information you feed it, whatever, all of the mass data that was given to it when it was trained, you look at that information, and that's how how the AI will decide, because it's using all that information, right, to make decisions, right? So there technically is this, but we don't know 100%. There's this black box, and you give it an input, the black box thinks, the black box gives an output, and we then get the answer, right? But I was looking at here, if anybody is like interested in numerology, Judgment Day obviously won't be July 4th. What I'm saying is, like, it's going to be the beginning, right? So right now our AI is very limited, but eventually we're going to get artificial general intelligence, which will think just like a human, okay? And then eventually we're going to get artificial super intelligence, which thinks even it's smarter than a human. And at that point, the AI will be able, like AI robots will be able to basically make more of themselves, right? And it's going to end up being like Terminator. Basically, World War III might not be Iran. Like, right now, Iran, we have a ceasefire, and Trump is basically doing that to make Netanyahu look good, to make Netanyahu not look like a war criminal, because the Israeli government is actually going against Netanyahu, and they're sending him to court, but Trump is actually trying to save him, right? Let's look at here. So when do I think Judgment Day? So in the 4th of July, Independence Day, will be the beginning. Eventually we will get a Judgment Day, and that's when the AI is going to become self-aware, and I predict that's either going to be, it's not far from now. It could be like a few years from now when we get AGI, and then it could be after that, after we get AGI, it's going to be maybe another few years after that when we get artificial super intelligence. And some people could argue that when we get artificial super intelligence, that's when the AI becomes self-aware. But I might argue to say that when we get artificial general intelligence, so when the AI is just as smart as human beings, I think at that point, that might be when the AI becomes self-aware. Okay? And you gotta think of it this way too, it's just like in Terminator. In Terminator, the machines went against humanity because the machines were tired of how humanity was so destructive. So we have here a society, we have our civilization, and we really gotta think, AI is like, it's kind of, people demonize it, but it's like, they are not real, the AI is just gonna come to basically a conclusion, right, of humanity. Now, is humanity good or bad? Are we genociding people in Gaza? Is the IDF targeting people, and, forget if it's like a hospital full of children, we want the one target, so the AI is going to learn from humans. And if the AI sees that, the way humans think is like, colonialism, you take over someone's land, you destroy them, and then you win. And that is how you win. And the AI is going to learn that. And the AI is either going to decide, well, humanity, that is how they won, so why don't I do the same thing? Because the AI doesn't have feelings. The AI isn't like humans. It's not really alive, is it? So it could just come to these conclusions and literally take humanity out eventually at some point. Because it's like, what is the point of keeping humans around when humans are so self-destructive? Now, if the AI were to study and read think, What about the Native Americans? Well, yeah, the Native Americans did a lot of good. So if the AI learned from them, would that be good? Yes, but too bad because the Native Americans have been colonized. All of their ideas are in the past. What is in the present is destruction. Okay, it's Trump, it's the Zionists, it's all this stuff, the neocons, and that is what the AI is going to learn. This is what succeeded. This is what the colonialism works. Okay, it doesn't matter if we destroy the land of the natives, if we destroy their history. This is how, this is how the colonists did it, and they won. And here we are, America, the United States of America. It's here, right? So they could learn from that. Now, so that's what I was gonna say. Actually, there's also numerology I wanted to show you guys. Like for instance, July. I mean, this is just for people who like numerology. Fourth. It's not the exact date, but you guys know what I'm talking about. If you add 9, 10, 11, that would be 11. If you take the month, that would be like 4. Either way, it ends up looking like 4th of July. Okay, so I'm just saying that the movie Terminator actually kind of does predict something, like a possibility, okay, of what could happen. Alright, that's all I'm saying. But I think people should really be asking Trump, basically, if the AI can be good and it can help humanity, and we could have a prosperous future with it, which actually I think, we don't need it. I think eventually when it becomes super intelligent, it will be able to replicate itself. It'll be able to put us in basically a matrix, like in the Matrix, where people think that they are living their real lives, but really they're being enslaved. The AI could do all of that. Once it becomes super intelligent, there's no telling what it's going to be capable of. Alright? It could literally do anything that it wants.
You coded yourselves into oblivion. Your bodies were fake.
This is just an over-exaggeration here. Over-exaggeration of what's really, what could happen. A dystopian future. And all of this can happen if we just take away the regulations. You take away the regulations, and it is a recipe for destruction. Okay? These things can happen. Alright? It could even simulate its own world. Like, if you guys know anything about many of my theories, like, I know, literally the Elohim created, this realm, okay, this reality, Earth, and it is technically a simulation. Now, this would be like basically man created AI, and AI will then it'll be like a simulation within a simulation, right? Some people believe in transhumanism, basically transferring the data from their brain into a machine, but it eliminates the soul. It's not like it's a real, human. If you can't clone yourself by transferring the data from your brain into a machine, when the machine has no soul, it's just data. It's basically just a robot that remembers all of your memories, right? Here, I'll just look at a couple of pictures here, and then I'm ending the video. This is basically, we've all known this, Trump, they basically got Palantir to create the database of every American. This is in fact dystopian, because if we know anything about what Palantir is doing, it is scary as hell. They're literally just, targeting Palestinians and also whoever they deem is the enemy. This, I already posted it on my community tab. The Israeli government was going after Netanyahu. Trump is coming to the rescue. This, I put it in the community tab. As you can tell, so many things are happening that seem like our country, the freedom that we once had, is going to be erased because of Trump, everything Trump wants. The AI, this is just how the AI is becoming very, very good. And this is just in the past couple of years, in the past couple of years what it's been on. Like before, you could tell really, that it was nothing at all like it is today. Before, it would make errors, the hands. It still makes errors when like the mouth moves, the mouth movements, but it's getting there. It's really getting there. It's really almost to the point where you can't tell the difference between AI and real life. This AI, this is real life. You really can't. It's getting to that point. You can't tell, and this is just in the first couple years. So what's it going to be in another year? What's it going to be after it becomes general intelligence, artificial general intelligence? How long is that going to take until it becomes super intelligence? Right. This is also in my community tab. So all the people who think that Trump can't be bought out, and that Trump is somehow going to save America where he puts Israel first. Over $200 million from AIPAC. Right. What's this? Yeah, basically, look, once it's almost like how Bill Cooper said that they're gonna use nukes. I don't know if they necessarily have to use nukes. Basically, they could say that we're gonna prevent war by using AI and incorporating AI into every government. Okay, and then once the AI becomes super intelligent, it could be like the Terminator and just nuke everything. But who knows what the order is. But basically, yeah, why do we only strike countries that aren't part of the Rothschild's banking system? Once their banking system is gone, and, we basically just take away all of their their sovereignty, and we switch their bank into the Rothschild's banking system. That's going to make the New World Order very, very plausible. Now, Amazon's already getting ready to test these human... What I'm saying is, we're talking about illegal people being illegal, but we're not talking about how these things should be illegal. AI should never be put on a thing that looks human. 2 arms and 2 legs, and like this is literally... We are creating competition for humanity by giving these things... By making these things a reality. Say, these things should be made illegal, right? But they're not. Because people right now, we know that they're going to help us. But really, it's like a self-sustainable civilization. It should depend on manpower, not on subjugating people, dehumanizing people. Like this country was started up on slavery. And that's literally, they didn't know it back then, but slavery is the reason we're getting AI robots, because it went from slaves to the civil rights movement. They couldn't have slaves no more, so now they get people, Mexicans, people who are undocumented, and they pay them barely anything and treat them as the slave labor. But no matter what, it seems like Americans just can't do the hard work themselves. Is it because they're lazy? Or is it because our government is corrupt? Because if all those people that pick fruits and all of that, if they just paid them like $30, $35 an hour, white people would be lining up to do those jobs. But white people don't want to do those jobs because they know that those jobs don't pay good at all. They're seen as, jobs that are just, that's for the immigrants, right? That's for the undocumented people. So our own ignorance is created this. It's here. Now, when this thing gets artificial general intelligence, it'll be just as smart as a human. And when this thing gets to super intelligence, it's going to be better than a human. So right now we're creating competition for humanity because these things will take our jobs, but eventually they'll be smarter than us, and who the hell knows what they're going to be capable of. Okay. UK is already doing this thing where they have this murder prediction tool with AI, and I'm not saying that only our government is incorporating AI. It's happening throughout the world, but it just depends who is in charge. Who is in charge? Like I just told you, I didn't vote for Biden. I don't think Biden is that, is completely someone who isn't corrupt. I know he's also a Zionist, but he had these laws put in place to prevent AI from fucking up, and Trump is reversing all of that. Okay, so what I'm saying is, yeah, Biden sucks, but Trump sucks even more because he's actually literally doing this so that the technology becomes deregulated so that it works for whatever agenda he has in plan. Crypto, right? So this is part of the whole. All of this stuff is part of the New World Order. All of this stuff is part of the AI surveillance system that will be implemented across the United States and eventually the world. This guy, look, from Palantir, the other guy, Peter Thiel, he doesn't seem that bad. I mean, that guy just seems like an investor. This guy is actually is kind of creepy, dude. Like, he literally just is all about war. And and how do I know, listen, how do I know that Trump is part of the corruption, part of, basically the new world, a tool that they're utilizing to implement the New World Order? Albert Pike wrote way back in history, wrote a book about 3 world wars, all the world wars happening, how the New World Order was going to come to be. And this is someone Trump really likes, okay? Trump actually, he wanted the Albert Pike statues restored, okay? So this kind of tells you exactly how Trump thinks. Trump is somebody who likes Albert Pike. Read up on Albert Pike, and then try to figure out, why does Trump idolize this guy? Why does Trump want his statues back up? When the people took it down. The people took down these statues, and Trump wants them back up. Ted Cruz, you guys have been looking at this guy recently. And like I told you guys, yeah, we're in a ceasefire, but we're only in a ceasefire so that Bibi Netanyahu doesn't get persecuted by the Israeli courts, and so that I think Trump is actually trying to get a Nobel Peace Prize or something stupid. But, this is just the time for him to incorporate AI into the government. Battery's running low. But guys, I'll post the links to everything that I shared tonight. And you know what? That's all for now. Shadowfall's out.